Hey Stewart Creek students, this is Miss Breard and I'm going to talk to you today about order of operations. At any time, if you want to mute my voice on practice questions to see if you can work them yourself, you are more than welcome to do so. So let's get started. Let's take a look at our learning target. I can evaluate numerical expressions with parentheses, brackets, or braces. So today we're really going to focus on parentheses and brackets. First, I want you to think about this expression, 10 plus 3 times 2. I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to solve this expression. Do you think the answer is 26? Or do you think the answer is 16? Yell out your answer. I'm waiting. The answer is actually 16. Can anyone tell me why? There's actually a certain order that you must take when solving expressions with more than one operation. So if your expression has like multiplication and subtraction, or division and addition, or even has several different operations that you have to solve it in a certain order. Can anyone tell me what this is called? It's called order of operations. Now, just because I know you want to have a dance party, let's watch a quick video.
Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction, if you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve. Parentheses first, 2 times 4, the product's 8. Are you ready for more? Exponents next, 2 squared is 4. Let's move down like we did before. Time to divide or multiply. Let's see what we got. Take a look at the signs. Divide the 8 by the 2. The quotient's 4 and we're almost through. It's finally time to add or subtract. 8's the answer and that's a fact.
Get it, Granny?
Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction, if you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve. Parentheses first, 2 times 6, the product's 12, put it back in the mix. Exponents next, 3 squared is 9. When you know the tricks, it don't take much time. Now we divide or multiply. Let's see what we got. Take a look at the signs. 9 divided by 9 is 1. The answer's close, man. We're almost done. 4 minus 1 has a difference of 3. When we add the 12, we get 15. Parentheses first, exponents next, multiplication and division in the same step. Addition and subtraction, if you got the nerve, from left to right, first come, first serve.
All right, here's the real question. Did you dance? Don't lie. You know you did. I mean, I did, so don't be embarrassed. Okay, so let's look at the order that we must solve expressions that have multiple operations. The first thing you have to look for is whether or not your expression has parentheses or brackets. They each look like this. Here would be your parentheses. This would be your brackets. And so you would have some kind of expression or something within those. So I could say like 4 plus 2. Or within the brackets, you could have like 5 minus 3 plus 1. The next thing you want to look for are your exponents. Remember when we learned about powers of 10? Those little numbers that appeared to the top right of the 10, like this? Those? Yep, those are your exponents. So those would come next in order of operation. The next thing that you'll want to look for when solving for multiplication or division. Notice I said multiplication or division. I like to call these like brother and sister. Basically, if you have multiplication and division within an expression, you actually solve the one that comes first from left to right. For instance, if I had 5 times 2 divided by 2, I would solve the 5 times 2 first, which is 10. I would bring down my divided by 2, and then I would solve for 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Make sense? And finally, the last things we would want to look for when solving order of operation expressions is addition or subtraction. Again, they're like brother and sister. If you have them both within an expression, you solve whichever one comes first. So if I had 6 plus 3 minus 4, I would solve the 6 plus 3 first, which is 9. Bring down your minus 4 and solve 9 minus 4, which is 5. So let's try some practice questions. First, which operation should I do first in 8 plus 7 times 3 minus 1? Well, I have to remember my order of operations or my PEMDAS. I don't have any parentheses or brackets, so I need to move on to my exponents. I also see that I have no exponents within my expression, so then I move on to multiplication or division. I see that within my expression that I have a multiplication sign. So I would need to solve for 7 times 3 first. So we know that multiplication needs to come first. So let's actually solve our expression. We have 7 times 3, which is 21. Then you need to bring the rest of your problem down. So I would actually bring down 8 plus 21, and then I would bring down my minus 1. Next, I want to look for my next operation that needs to be solved for. I see that I have addition and subtraction. Remember, when you have both within an expression, you solve from left to right. So I have 8 plus 21, which is 29. Then I would bring down my minus 1, and I would solve for 29 minus 1, which is 28. So the answer to our expression would be 28. Our next expression is 74 times 7 plus 10 divided by 2. What would come first? We don't see any parentheses or brackets. It does not have any exponents, but we do see that it has multiplication and division. So what do I need to do? That's right. Solve whichever one comes first from left to right. And I see that 74 times 7 comes first. So I would need to solve for it first. So let's actually solve our expression. We have 74 times 7. Now, I would want to actually go and solve for that. Maybe some of you can do that in your head, and that's awesome, but you would want to probably show your work on the side or have some scratch paper. So I need to solve, and I see that I have 7 times 4, which is, that's right, 28. Next, I want to look at my 7 times 7, or 7 times 70, which is 49 or 490. Then I need to add those two 10s, and I get 5,100. So that makes my, not 5,100, 510. So that would make my equation, my answer 518 for 74 times 7. Next, I would want to bring down my plus 10 and my division sign and my 2. So now I see that I have 518 plus 10 divided by 2. So now I want to see, would I want to solve for the addition first or the division? And if I'm following the steps of order of operation, I would know that 10 divided by 2 would need to go first. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. Next, I'd want to bring down my 518. Ooh, that was a really bad 8, guys, sorry. And my plus sign. So now I have 518 plus 5, which is 523. So there's your answer. Let's do one more. Which operation do you think would come first? We have 6 times, and then we have our parentheses, 12 minus 5, and then we have plus 6 divided by 2. So remember, you want to think about PEMDAS, or the order of operations. And what we know from order of operations is that the parentheses would need to go first. So this part would need to go first. So let's solve for our expression. 12 minus 5 is 7. Then you would want to bring down the rest of your problem. So 6 times 7. Then I would need to bring down my plus 6 and my divided by 2. Then I want to see what I need to do next. I noticed that I don't have any parentheses. I do not have any exponents, but I do see that I have multiplication and division. Oh my goodness, what do I do when I have both? Think about it. That's right. You want to solve from left to right. So I would want to do the 6 times 7 first, which is 42. Then I would want to bring down the rest of my expression. So I would have 42 plus 6 divided by 2. So now I have addition and division left in my expression to solve. And I see that with PEMDAS that I would need to do my division first. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Bring down your 42 and your plus sign. And then I would look at 42 plus 3, which is 45. So the answer to our expression would be 45. So now, here are some independent practice questions. I want you to pause your video and see if you can solve these expressions by yourself. You've got this. You can do it. Did you get them right? If you did, that's awesome. If you didn't, well, let's just keep trying. We're going to keep practicing as we go. Now, we're going to try some with some brackets. Brackets look like this. So the first expression we will look at is this one. We see that we have brackets around 13 plus 7, which is in parentheses, and then minus 3, and then outside of our bracket we have a plus 5. Don't let those brackets scare you. You will still complete the same process. We know in PEMDAS we solve for parentheses or the brackets first. Well, notice that I have parentheses and brackets. Well, the brackets are like the big brother of the parentheses. They are protecting everything within the brackets. So I want to solve everything in the brackets first, but still follow those rules for order of operation. Here, let me show you. So we have 13 plus 7 in parentheses minus 3 all within brackets. Well, still following the rules of order of operations, I know that my parentheses will come first. So I would take 13 plus 7, which is 20. Again, you want to make sure you're still bringing everything down. Notice we still have brackets because we've not completed everything within our brackets. So now we have to solve that 20 minus 3, which is 17. Bring down your plus 5, and then you simply solve for 17 plus 5, which is 22. See, it's really not that difficult. Here's our next expression. Remember, solve everything within the brackets first, but still follow those order of operation rules. So I see that within my brackets I have 2 plus, and then in parentheses I have 9 minus 7. So I need to solve for the 9 minus 7 first. oops, 9 minus 7 is 2. Remember, bring down everything in your expression. 2 plus, and then bring that other bracket. Okay, so I noticed that I still have 2 plus 2 within my bracket, so that is the next step that I need to take. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And then I bring down my 10 times, and then now I'm doing 10 times 4, and I get 40. Are you getting the hang of it? Let's try one more. Oh, just kidding. Now it's time for you to try it yourself. So, just like last time, here's some independent practice questions. I want you to pause the video and see if you can solve these expressions. You've got this. Did you get them right? If you did, that is amazing. If not, just keep practicing. You're gonna get the hang of it. Well, that's the end of our journey here, guys. I hope this video helped you with order of operation, and if you need more practice, ask someone at home to make some expressions with multiple operations. If not, ask your teacher. I guarantee she would love giving you more practice. Have a wonderful day, Cardinals.